Hey, everybody from the Patreon. It's good to have you in this weird environment. And we're going to go over ice baths because I know there's a bunch of ice bath enthusiasts out there, and that's some of the reason that they come to the page. So I have had the opportunity over the last probably close to a decade to, well, ice bath all the time, but also coach people through the whole experience. In this video, we're going to go over what's kind of possible, like with the different, like if you don't live in a ranch with enough space for maybe buying a cold bath, and we can kind of get into the different cold baths that you can buy, how can you make it happen? So today we're going to be in this little shower area here, and it depends, of course, what your setup are. However, in this case, we have a shower. If you want to come over here, Nick, we have a shower with a low lip. So on the low lip, it's nice because if you can kind of come over here, I just line up the relief valve so the water can go out. So you don't want to get stuck with all the water in there and be like, oh shit, what do I do? So it can kind of just exit, right? The nice thing about this setup here too is we have a secondary drain. So if it does get too full or water displaces, it's okay. So we just have a shower head here to cold water, and we just have this filling up. You want to save room for ice, of course, and your body weight. So I suggest, until you get really good at it, depending on your size, just filling it up with about halfway full of water. Okay, we have a couple of ice bags that we bought, and yes, we have to buy them each time. A couple of ice bags there, 2 20-pound bags. I mean, it depends how cold you want to get it. So anything under 55 degrees, I don't know what that is in centigrade. European friends, you can figure that out. Anything under 55 degrees is going to feel quite cold. If it's closer to 55, well, you can sit in it longer and get the same kind of results. It really matters what you're going for, and we'll make another video on that. Like, are you trying to defeat something that's really difficult in your mind? Are you just trying to lower inflammation? Are you doing it because all the cool kids are doing it? It really depends as far as temperature or why you'd want to do it. In here, in summer, the water's kind of cold, but it's not super cold. So we're using 2 bags of ice here. Otherwise, we just sit in it for longer. In winter, because of course we're in Wisconsin, that fucking water is cold. You don't really even need ice, but you throw 1 bag of ice in there on top of the cold water, and it's quite chilly, right? And of course, we have the lake, or you have a river, or anything by you can always do it like that. But we're talking about indoors today. So some of the things to think about. 1, don't fill it up all the way. Fill it up about halfway, add the ice, and get in slowly. Because the last thing you'd want to be doing is being in your bathroom and then just, you get in, all the water overturns, and then your bathroom's flooded. Your neighbors are like, what the fuck is going on? It'd be a mess, right? So that's number 1 to think about. Number 2, think about an exit strategy. Now, in this case, the shower has a very low lip. It just shoots right over, no big deal. This is a hose spigot, and because of how the water comes up, there's a bunch of pressure. So if you have something that it needs to go over, you can get a little piece of hose, and the pressure will have it go over. Now, that's not going to drain it all the way to the bottom, but it will drain it enough that maybe then you could start to pick it up or maybe put it over the tub's edge. So you could still do it with a tub, but it is going to be significantly harder. You just have to get a few more tools. Okay. Last but not least, I don't know, what is my last but not least? Nick, do you have anything to...
Maybe that's what helps you get it out. You're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, that's a great point. You'll get used to it, of course, and depending on your age and your physical capability. If you're injured, all those things matter. It's nice because we have this nice little rail, but have something, right? Have a chair, have something that can help you get in and out, because you don't want to get stuck in an ice bath. What an interesting way to go. Of course, we kind of tie this into the Wim Hof method, and as part of the Wim Hof method, we may hold our breath. But if we're doing this by ourselves, we don't want to hold our breath in the water. In fact, you don't want to hold your breath in the water at all, because guess what happens if you hold your breath for too long? You go to sleep. If you go to sleep in the water, you don't wake up. So make sure that you're practicing safely. I think that is about it. The next couple videos are going to be going over what we're thinking pre-ice soak, during the ice soak, what we think after, and going from there. So if you have any questions, of course, questions how I've done it over the years. Bath. So we have from the company Ice Pod here, because we've done a bunch of different events. There's a logo on this side. You might not be able to get it in, but whatever. They're pretty good baths. They're double layered. They seem to hold up pretty well, but I've gotten anywhere from, there's $60 ones you can get on Amazon, and you can go all the way up to different barrels, to different troughs, to, you know, all sorts of different things that you can get. This, $100, $110, somewhere in there, and if you do it, you know, a couple times a week, it'll last you 6 months, 9 months. So it's a pretty good. The only thing that kind of sucks is buying the ice and having to do that. But maybe your ice machine makes ice. There's all sorts of different ways. So on that note, we'll get into it, and thanks for watching.